So can we switch gears for just a second? Can we talk about Kaylee's boyfriend, Jack? They started dating when she was...
I'm sorry? You ignorant ass woman. What did you just say?
911 location of your emergency.
Breaking news out of North Idaho. Moscow police are investigating a homicide on King Road.
Is she breathing?
No.
So 5'10", all black. Could you see what color his eyebrows were or anything like that?
No, I don't remember what his eyes look like either.
Officers discovered the bodies of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Maddie Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves, but no weapon has been located at this time.
Arrested. That's 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger in custody today.
Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Everything is alleged. Her boyfriend, Jack? Y'all are so disrespectful. Y'all are so disrespectful of Kaylee and her f***ing choices before she was murdered. What? That is no better than the Micah Miller situation. You've got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. What?
So can we switch gears for just a second? Can we talk about Kaylee's boyfriend, Jack? They started dating when she was a sophomore in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that there's a story that goes along with them dating.
Kaylee and Jack and Maddie, they all were hanging out, but Jack had a girlfriend.
Oh,
and
okay.
They were friends with her too, but Kaylee was like, she's not that good of a friend of mine, and I really like Jack. And
I remember meeting Jack in the emergency room.
Well, that
really?
we're getting there. So okay. Kaylee and so I think Jack, he hadn't been dating that girl that long. So he started kind of, feeling Kaylee, and Kaylee was feeling him. And then so he had just got a car. So Kaylee, Maddie, and Jack went off campus for lunch, and they got in a car wreck. Somebody T-boned them.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't that big of a deal, but
that right there should have told you that you don't belong together. That should have been your sign.
Ambulance, but they were glass. They were all cut up. They had glass in their eyes. I remember.
That's not a joke. That's
yeah. It just, nobody was like seriously hurt. So we get called that the kids are being taken to the emergency room, and we need to get down there and this and that. So we go down there to the emergency room. And, Kaylee is in a room, Maddie's in a room, Jack is in the waiting room. So I think Jack was totally fine with his dad. And Jack is just literally like this. And his dad is just like, and we're like, hello, we're the Goncalves. And he's just like, and Jack literally is just like sitting there, and we're like, this is Jack. And I'm like, I go back, and Kaylee like hurt her knee or something like that. So that was the first time that we ever met Jack, was in the emergency room with his dad. And then shortly after, they were fine. They were all.
This whole thing is so disrespectful. Oh my God. This is their agenda. This is exactly why we have an issue with her saying that Kaylee was a brat for not being with Jack in the very first interview that she did. Why do they keep doing this? This is some sort of weird obsession of Kristi's. I really low-key wonder if Kristi has a thing for Jack. Because this shit's weird. This shit is weird. And these freaks up here going along with this is so disrespectful to Kaylee. Oh my God.
Released that day and everything like that. But Jack and Kaylee eventually wound up dating. But Jack told the story.
Love at first crash.
I think that's
the book title.
Jack told the story that before they were flirting with each other in first period, and Jack would bring in some Pringles or something like that, and he was eating some Pringles, And Kaylee was like, I want some, give me some of those Pringles. And Jack was like, and she's just like, wow, like, you don't even like me, So he goes, so the next day I went and bought Kaylee her own thing of pizza Pringles and gave them to her. And then during class, I turned around and I'm like, give me some of those Pringles. And she goes like this, and that's upside down, it's empty. And he went, seriously? And he went, and he went, oh my God. He said, he oinked at her and then was like, and then she was just like, and then started laughing. And he goes, and from that moment on, I was absolutely in love with Kaylee's laugh. I was like, oh my God, he's telling the story. And I'm like, oh my God, would she do slap you? You oinked at her? I started laughing. That was, and then, they were together and Jack was part of our family. She was part of his family.
Yeah, we incorporated almost.
But they weren't when she died, Kristi, and you need to respect that and get rid of your little fantasy shit you've got going on here. See, what they seem to forget is that a lot of truth has come out since they started telling this story about how Jack and Kaylee were supposed to be together and would have ended up back together and all this bullshit. They seem to forget that they cannot keep repeating the same crap now that the truth is coming out. The gag order has been lifted, and we have gotten interviews and reports and now know a lot of facts that they seem to just not care that we know about. Not only was Kaylee sleeping with other people and seeing other people the way that I mentioned already, but she was literally just trying to get back to talking with Mason Barstow just 12 hours before she died. In his interview, he says that they saw each other at the White's party where the infamous photo was taken, and she was apologizing to him for not talking to him all week and trying to get him to make plans with her for the day. But he'd already made plans with another chick to go and do stuff. This was 12 hours before she passed away. Never mind the fact that Jack has also told us that on Friday, she had told him to go ahead and come over during the daytime, but he was at work. He gets off work, he goes home, he then says, hey, I can come over now. And she's like, no, I don't want you coming over. It's not a good time. So we know there was a little formal and a little party at the house on Friday. We also found out Jack never was invited to any of the parties. He literally said he had never been to any of the parties all of those months that Kaylee lived there, meaning he wasn't around. He wasn't wanted. So I don't understand why they keep this sick fantasy going, knowing that we know the truth now about things, especially given the fact that we also know the truth now about how Jack did not want Murphy, that he literally told Kaylee no, he didn't want to get the dog together, and she got it anyway, and he only had the dog with him at his house because where Kaylee was staying at the time didn't allow pets. But we do know that 1122 and 1127 were both owned by Team Idaho, so the rules for pets are the same, which is another reason why she probably ended up moving into 1122 besides the fact that Maddie was there, to make it easier for Murphy to be around. But he straight up said he did not want Murphy, and now we know that Murphy is living with Jack's aunt. So if the Goncalveses really felt like these two belonged together and were supposed to be together, why didn't they keep Murphy? If they are the ones who came out and pushed this, oh my God, they adopted a dog together and they were co-parenting and oh, it was so cutesy wootsy, why didn't they ever try to keep Murphy? Because they knew the truth and they knew that they were telling us a bunch of bullshit.
Stood by Jack, by his entire family from day one. Yeah. We pulled him into our house when everything was happening.
We knew he had nothing to do
and,
with this.
we talked to the media straight out and, we're like, we get it. You got to do your investigating. You got to, he was, and technically the ex-boyfriend, they had just broke up and this and that. So, we understood, but.
She was literally sleeping with other people and moving to the entire other side of the country. She's still keeping it up. She's still keeping it up. Oh, man.
We've never, and we have nothing still to this day. Matter of fact, Jack just messaged me yesterday on Kaylee's birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. He said, I'm thinking about you today. I'm thinking about Kaylee, and let's get together soon and have a beer.
That's the thing is, when you get a case like this, people want to Hollywoodize it. They want to, and they say, well, there's got to be these bad characters.
I'm so tired of his dumb ass.
That's the thing is, when you get a case like this, people want to Hollywoodize it. You know, they want to, and they say, well, there's got to be these bad characters, and this had to happen to them because
you are a
they
bad
were
character. You're a liar, a gaslighter, and a manipulator. You are the bad character, Steve. It's him doing it. If they didn't want this Hollywoodized, they would stop this fake love story between Kaylee and Jack and respect the fact that they were separated, not together. She thought of him as a child. That's what she was going around and telling people, that Jack was like a child to her. And you want to sit there and have this entire weird ass fantastical future in your mind when the reality is you're completely disrespecting what your daughter wanted for herself. That's not your job to sit there and try to paint the picture that you wanted for her. Trust me, Kristi, I know it's hard. But whenever you have an adult daughter, you kind of have to let her do her thing. And to sit here and keep throwing Jack and Kaylee together when she didn't want to be with him is so disturbing. And the fact that Steve just goes along with it, no respect at all for your child. No respect at all for what she wanted with her life and what she didn't want. The fact that y'all are holding on to Jack so hard when she was trying to let him go is disgustingly disturbing. And it's just amazing how they're out here with the same script, but trying to add things onto it to make us think differently than what the facts are. They were not together. She was trying to be with other people. She was taken off. Jack was a part of her past. The fact that they are so disrespectful to what Kaylee wanted with her life should tell you everything you need to know about these people. And the fact that there's so many people on this fake ass army of love bullshit that these two have going on that don't sit there and take a step back when we know the truth. And then they listen to what comes out of their mouths and no one says a word. That's why people continue to lie, because people don't call them out. This is highly, highly disturbing behavior. And I know that I'm not wrong. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that the notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.